It is Parachute 2014. I'm George. We're at the Rhema Media tent and we're joined now by John and Mark McMillan. John, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
You are perhaps best known as the man who wrote the song How He Loves, which has become an anthem in the church around the world. How did you come to write that song?
I wrote it in a pretty difficult place after a friend of mine passed away.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So I guess there must be a lot of emotion for you when you sing that song. Then.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's a song which has, I guess, seemed to have resonated with so many people. Do you think it's because it contains that, I guess, that honest emotion?
Yeah, I think so. There can be a real, be this real idea in the church world that you're not allowed to express what are considered negative emotions, but they make up a huge part of who we are, you know, and I think that song is probably tapped into the fact that a lot of people need those expressions in church as well, and not just sort of the happy, joy type of stuff, you know?
Do you think with that generally is the, I guess, the reason why we might have that sort of mentality within church culture? Is it because, hey, we want to show how good life is with God, so we're almost scared to show that actually we have flaws and we fail sometimes and we struggle with things? Do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think it comes from a negative idea of what church, or not a negative, but an unrealistic idea of what church is supposed to be. You know, this sort of idea that church is supposed to be sort of an attraction to other people, like we're trying to attract people to something with sometimes not letting people know what we're actually attracting them to. You know, to me the idea of church is that it's a family, and families deal with their issues through all stages of life, you know. And I think it's two ways to look at what church is, you know, and so I think if the idea of church is just to attract as many people as possible, we want to put on what church is supposed to be rather than maybe what it is, and we attract people to this sort of vision or idea of something, you know. And so I think when you have certain emotions that are not pretty or happy, it doesn't seem as attractive, and so I think people tend to put those off, but the truth is that those are very much part of church and family life, you know.
So it's almost like a misplaced sort of marketing motive then, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I think that, I mean, it's ironic, isn't it? Because that is why I need Jesus, because I struggle with things, because I don't have it all together, and that's where grace comes into
totally,
it. So that, if we're, not that church should be about marketing anything, but I guess if we're trying to communicate a message, and that's it, that you don't have to measure up, and that's the point, isn't it?
Yeah, totally, yeah.
With music then, how do you think, or how do you think we I guess translate that into music? Is it just about writing songs from our own experiences, or?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think music has been part of human history for a long time, you know, because people inevitably have to share their lives with other people, and music is one of the many ways we do that. I think we don't make music just to play. I think music has to be heard by other people, because the whole point is to share your life with somebody else. Even if it's in a small way, you may never meet those people, but that desire within you to want to express who you are outwardly is what music does, and what music does for you, you know. And so I think in church it's no different. We're people, and we need to express who we are and share our lives with other people, and so the music naturally follows.
You've said you believe in organic church worship music. What do you mean by that?
Organic? I don't know. I guess what I think is that, and this isn't just church, it's just in general, is there's this idea that music can be very manufactured, you know? And I think people are looking for something real, you know. I know in the U.S. people overuse that term real, because what does that mean anyway? Everything's real, everything is actual, right? Yeah. But, you know, but I think it has to do with this idea that people don't want to feel like a song was manufactured for them. They want to feel like a person sang that song because they wanted to sing it, not because they felt obligated to create an experience for them, but they want to feel like they're experiencing what you're experiencing because you actually experienced it.
Right.
You know, and so I think that if we're not careful, we can get into manufacture mode, where we're manufacturing things for people and not providing them with a real, actual heart connection with other human beings, you know.
Do you think, as part of, I guess, making music which is relevant to people, that we need to have some variety within worship music then, that we can't expect people who are quite different to all be happy or connect with singing along with the same few songs?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that people are different around the world, and even back home in different neighborhoods, people are different. So I don't think there should be this pressure to conform to one sort of expression. I think we should celebrate all different kinds of expressions, you know. And I don't know where the idea comes from that things have to be so uniform in church, you know. And I love some of the great songs of the day, but I don't understand why everywhere in the world I go, I hear the same 3 or 4 songs. I don't think it has to be that way. You know?
I experienced that recently. I was in the developing world for the first time. Went on a trip with an agency to the Philippines, actually, and I couldn't believe that the same songs which we might sing in the church down the road from my house were being sung there.
Totally, and it speaks a lot of those songs. Those songs are amazing songs, but I feel like I think it means more when the song comes out and up from the people, you know, instead of handed down to them from a sort of system, but actually rises up from the hearts of the people organically, you know. I think that means so much more.
How would you define your own music if you had to have the music that John Mark McMillan writes and plays? Would you be able to put a label on that?
I mean, that's hard. I mean, it's pretty cliche to say, you know, I don't want to label my music. Everyone says that, and everyone has one anyway, but I think my music is growing. I identify mostly with folk music, not always in timbre and texture, but in sort of the idea and philosophy of the way music is created by and for the people, you know.
With your music, your most recent album was funded through Kickstarter.
Yep.
Why the decision to do that rather than through the traditional label method?
Well, because I got a lot of good friends who are on labels. I know a lot of great label guys, but for me, like, it just works so much. It works so much better for me when I don't have to have a lot of conversations about the music I'm making. And ultimately, I've worked with labels, and they were really good to me and let me do what I wanted to do. But I feel like whenever you want to try anything that's a little different, you have to have 4 conversations before you're able to try it, you know. And I just don't have that kind of patience or time in my life anymore.
So there's more freedom doing it yourself then?
Yeah, totally.
With, I guess, raising money through something like Kickstarter or crowdfunding, was that scary at all?
I don't think it was scary. I thought it was really exciting, you know.
Right.
And I mean, I was nervous, you know. I didn't want to feel like a failure if we went for this campaign and didn't make it, you know. But I think anything in life that's worth doing also comes with a risk. But I wouldn't say I was scared, especially after the first week when I saw that people were really excited about it. It just sort of, it actually gave our whole team this boost. You felt the energy coming from all these people, and the whole team just gravitated or felt the weight of this energy, you know, and it made us so much more excited to make this music.
So it's easy to be excited about the album you're making if you know that people are backing you to make it, they're getting on board in that way.
Yeah. And I kind of feel like, I really do feel like music is a community thing. And so it's not just me making music and throwing it back at the people, but I feel like the music belongs to all of us. And so when we make it together, to me it's just that much more what it's supposed to be, I guess.
With your music then, do you have any musical other artists that you look up to as inspirations or people who have influenced you?
Yeah, I have quite a few. I mean, I'm a huge Springsteen fan. I love Springsteen. I love the way he speaks for the people, and I love the way he writes extraordinary songs out of ordinary situations, which I think is the greatest way to write music. And I like Bob Dylan. I like a lot of those guys. You know, I like Justin Vernon and the Bon Iver guys, and you know, so I listen to a wide variety of music.
In terms of other songwriters then, do you see in some of those artists that sort of honesty that you were talking about, that comes through in their songs?
Yeah, I think so, very often. Yeah.
What's next for you? What does the rest of 2014 hold for John Mark McMillan?
Well, we're going to release the album in March, so we're really excited about that, and we have a lot of tour plans for this year, and so really it's about putting the album out and touring and letting people hear the new music live. I think we've got a couple other small projects in the works we hope to get out, released towards the end of the year. I'm doing an album with my wife where the songs are a little more, I say traditional worship songs, meaning I think everything I do comes from a place of worship, so I consider it, theologically, I consider it all worship. I don't separate those things in my mind, but culturally, these songs will work a little better as far as cultural worship is considered in the cultural idea of what worship is, meaning songs that people in churches might sing along with. And I'm hoping to get that out by the end of the year, and I'm really excited about that because those songs are really great. And my wife is awesome, and it's great to work with her. So
great. Well, really looking forward to hearing your new music, John Mark McMillan.
Sure.
McMillan, thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. It's been great.
John Mark McMillan.